Hey guys, this is Dead Body Man. Usually I record some game footage for Transformers Earth Wars on my Android phone, but I've been playing this game since August 2014, and yeah, I've been playing for a while, and I'm actually a free-to-play player, always have been. Um, I'm always telling my team tips about kind of, I guess you could say, the way I play, and I've learned, a few things after playing over the years, and I can honestly say a lot of the tips have changed, especially now that we're in season 5. Um, so I'm just gonna jump right into it. Since I have a bout right now for a Royal Rumble, I'll show you on that. My deck right now, I just auto-filled it and just let it do whatever it does. If for some reason you have, like I do in my wild deck right now, I got 4 cards, 4 males, I should say, that need leveling. Their stats need levels. When I say stats, I'm talking about on the back of the card, yeah, he's level 75 of 75, but if you go to improve and flip it over, you'll notice under power, toughness, speed, and charisma, in the second column, it says matches, and I've gotten, more than half of the matches done. So all I gotta do is play 13 more power matches, 15 more toughness matches, 15 more speed matches, 17 more charisma matches. Ability only needs 20, not 40, so that goes a little bit faster than the other abilities. And while I'm on the card, I might as well explain. I used to always level the special ability, but I noticed now that we're in Season 5, I finally realized you get more stat points out of the tokens that you put on the individual stats as opposed to the ability on the single card. So what I do is, if I have 2 Zack Riders, I would put all my tokens on, power, toughness, speed, charisma. Just kind of spread it out. If you want them to be really strong, of course, put it on their specific ability stats. Power and charisma would be Zack Ryder, so I'd put 5 and 5 on Zack Ryder, but I kind of base my stuff around the support cards I have, and right now I have a power charisma and toughness charisma ability card, or support card, I'm sorry. So basically, I just kind of, I like to just balance the card, make sure that their special ability stats, power and, like for Zack Ryder, power and charisma, make sure that those 2 stats are higher than the other 2 stats. Just because, you want to balance the card, but you really don't want the off stats being stronger. You could, but I don't know. I wouldn't recommend it. So, anyways, what I was saying about the tokens on the back of them, on the single cards, put them on just the individual stats. Once you pro them, then I would recommend down here putting your tokens on the ability. Put them all on the ability, because once you pro them, the ability is actually worth more points than the individual stats. And once you do that, you'll see what I mean. So just to get the full potential out of your card, I always recommend all the tokens on the individual stats on the single card, and all your tokens that you can on the ability once you pro it. Now that I got that out of the way, what I was going to say about the stats is I got, 13, 15, 15, 17 stats to go on, the individual stats. What I could do is I could take this one card, Zack Ryder, and in the Royal Rumble, I could put Zack Ryder where Stone Cold is right here, and the rest of these cards, like the rest of them, everything else that you see here, I can take all those cards and replace all of them with what I recommend is the lowest tier, which obviously now is hardened. I only have 2, but you can do it with hardened and elite. You need, I believe, 14. I think the easiest way to do it is just to do it. So that's what I'm going to do. Okay, Zack Ryder. I'm going to put him in right here. Neon, Zack Ryder. Make sure he's the right one. Yep, he's the one that needs the stats. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to start replacing all these other cards. Put in Dean, Sammy. It's easier to put all these in and then explain to you what's going on. All these cards here. Let's just drop all these in. Oops. It's a cool trick. It worked in season 1, and I tried it with lower cards than Zack Ryder, and it wasn't very efficient. You would have to use the Legacy Chamber, Fusion Chamber, and you would have to get like some true common and put in some commons and get some even lower cards. But I did try this quite a few times. It is luck of the draw, but if you are just trying to boost stats on a card, it won't do special ability, so you'll have to do the 20 special ability matches in Wild or something else. I also recommend Money in the Bank if you want to level up some stats on cards. Alright, so I got my Zack Ryder in, and then the rest I have, all Hardens and a couple Elites, blah, blah, blah. Oh, that's right, I did do that. Whoops. I like to keep it as low as possible. So now I'm done. So now my tier is WrestleMania 33 plus. So now I'm going to go play a match. What I'm hoping for is that my Zack Ryder card comes up first. And I'll play it immediately. And from that moment on, every match that you play, whatever the stat requires for that match, that's the stat that's going on that card. So I didn't get it. So what I do is, if I have like 2 of something and I can obviously see what's coming up, I'll just get rid of one of. Obviously, the lower of the 2 is the smartest thing to do. And there's my Zack Ryder. He's got control, so I'm going to take his card. I got a toughness stat on Zack Ryder just now. And now, I can play whatever I want. I'll probably play the speed right now, just to play it safe, because I had a toughness and speed, and that was the higher of the 2. So now I'll play the toughness. And now I'll play the power. And mind you, like I said, every single one of these stats is going towards that one individual card. So we'll check out Zack Ryder's stats after this match. And this is also a good way to get a perfect. Sometimes you get opponents that, I don't know if they just play their card wrong, or if they just didn't have one. But, like, he just took my card. Chances are I won't be taking it back. I probably won't even win. But I did get quite a few stats on just one match I just played. I did get quite a few. I'm not really worried about losing, but I really do hate losing. So since Season 5 came out, unless I'm doing like a Neon Pro or a Shattered Pro, I'm not usually leveling up their stats in Royal Rumble anymore. I do still try it with the females, because females are so hard to level up. And you can only do, obviously 2 at a time, as opposed to the males in Wild, you can do 4 at a time. And like me right now, I have like 4 or 5 females, 3 of them about to be pros. I can only focus on 2 at a time. So yeah, it does get kind of hectic, and I just try to utilize my matches in all game modes as best as I can, so I have the opportunity to level my cards, my stats on the back of my cards as fast as possible, and so I can pro them immediately. The sooner the better. I never rush cards. I never rush cards. I'm focusing right now still on so I lost 10-4, but I'm not really worried about that one particular loss. I mean, it does happen, obviously. I'm gonna go back to autofill. I just wanted to show you guys that it is possible to get multiple stats. I'm gonna go show you right now. So now I only need 11, 13, 14, 16. So I did knock a lot of power matches out, and that helps a lot. But I'm going to go back to that because I've been winning a lot of matches. To be honest, that was actually my third match I've lost this week in PvP. The other two, the people I played against had all event cards. So I got my Zack Ryder over here. I just pro'd this Danny Burch, and the reason why I didn't max his level, he's 59 out of 80, is because right now the ring domination's going on for the Asuka, the Shattered Asuka. So my last three cards, you can see like my actual deck in ring domination is Shattered plus plus. I took it down to just over Shattered, so that way I have very good chances of getting Neon Plus opponents. I do get a lot of Neon Plus Plus opponents, but I like to get the Neon Plus opponents. It makes it a hell of a lot easier when you're playing ring domination to get almost guaranteed wins every time. So once my Zack Ryder's done, I'll just start balancing those last three cards again to stay where I'm at, just above Shattered. When Road to Glory isn't going on, I use Road to Glory to keep track of the females, to keep track of all the cards that I'm leveling up right now. So you can see I have 4 females and then 5 males at the bottom. These 4 and that Shattered I just got about a half hour ago from Draft Board. It was my tier pull today. So I got another match lined up right now, but I want to show you guys ring domination. Those are my cards that I have to pro right now, but like I said, you can only move so fast when you can only do 2 females at a time, and obviously this is an all-male event. So you can see my opponent right now, right here. He is a Shattered opponent. What I do is I just back out and go back in, back out, go back in, go back out. And there's my Neon Plus opponent. So of course I'm going to play him. I just wanted to show you in ring domination. I'm looking at my cards. I have 2 ups, a right, 2 lefts, and a down. So now I'm looking at my weakest card, which is my Zack Ryder. He's a left arrow. So I have a left. Okay, so what I'm going to do is I'm going to play my weakest card. Because I have 2 ups and only 1 down, I'm going to play up, and because my right and left, my right is stronger, I'm going to play up right with my weakest card. Always play in the corner with your weakest card in ring domination when you start. Always. And I don't care about my opponent's card. I'm not playing against my opponent. I'm playing against myself. So I have 2 up arrows. I just want to let you know my Eddie Guerrero is in a momentum slot. My Drew McIntyre is not. And also, you notice that I did not play either one of my support cards at the beginning before I dropped my Zack Ryder, because there's no point playing your your support cards at the beginning. You want to have the advantage at all times, so you always play your weakest card and then you play your first support card after the first attack. I'm going to use my weaker of the 2 up arrows, obviously, and take back. So again, my Zack Ryder, I'm leveling up stats. He got attacked once by Bray. Now I'm attacking it again. This one, he's getting a power speed. I didn't pay attention to what Bray Wyatt, when he attacked him, what Zack Ryder was getting stats on. But I did get attacked twice on Zack Ryder. So he got twice as many stats on him. He's boosting twice as fast. So now I have up, down, right, left. it's kind of up in the air, you know, how you want to do it. Me personally, I just try to be smart about it. This one in particular, I'm just gonna play another up. He's probably gonna play his in the corner and take that Bray Wyatt back if he has a right arrow. We'll see. Of course, I took it back. He's probably not gonna get it back because he used a shattered. Oh wow, he got me by 1,000 points. Unbelievable. And in ring domination, you only need to have 5 of the spots covered to win. So it's not about beating your opponent. It's basically just about taking back the cards. So now I'm on the bottom row. I have a right, left, and a down. Just to give myself an option, I'm going to be smart about it, and I'm going to play, I have 3 right now. I'm going to play, again, my weakest card. So that'll make 4. If he had taken it back, that would have brought me back down to 3. Depending on what he would have used, I could have attacked whatever card was in this spot with my Dean Ambrose. No point attacking with my Razor Ramon going left. There's no point because I've got 1, 2, 3, 4 spots right now. Again, like I said, to win you only need 5 spots, so I'll just take the 5th spot, you know? You don't have to fight them to win. You just got to have 5 spots. Now for the draft. Of course, with my luck, it's always the last shard. It's always the last pick. I don't have any specific pattern. It's all luck of the draw. And I really couldn't, like, tell you, you know, how to do it. Okay, so, yeah, and of course I use doublers because I'm trying to get the event card. The heroic. What else? Of course, always get your logins. Don't ever forget to get your logins. They're every 4 hours. I'm not even going to watch the video right now. I always leave my filter on combine, and I always just check in here periodically and just combine the hardens and elites. Not only because they're worth more when I'm leveling up these cards, but they're also worth more. They're worth twice as much for the fusion chamber. So that's also a good thing to know is in the fusion chamber, try to use your combined cards because they're worth twice as much, so you can use less cards, obviously. Other than that, I've heard a lot of people say they don't like to play King of the Ring, so they just don't do it. There's nothing to it. Just hit the autofill button and start it. You don't even have to play. The free draft picks, when you lose, it's still a reward that, you know, it's draft picks you didn't have. To me, every draft pick counts, and you just want to make sure that you can take control of all of it. So, yeah. The rewards, I know I have enough for a Neon right now, but the rewards refresh in 5 days. And for all I know, it might be 40,000 for a Neon Pro, like guaranteed in 5 days. I don't know, but I'm already Shattered Plus. I'm about to be Shattered Plus Plus as soon as I finish all those female Shattered Pros. And the other game modes I'd recommend, well, of course I'd recommend them all. Wild, if you want to win matches but level cards, I recommend, like, I'm trying to level all these cards. And if you notice, they all kind of go down from the highest to the lowest cards because basically your lowest card's not going to get used, but I do need to level them. You know, I'm not worried about him not getting used right now. I'm worried about these other 3, but as soon as Zach's done, you know, I'll just drop them out and swap them out for one of these, like, useless SummerSlam 18 cards I'm not using. I don't level them anymore. I just throw them in because they're low cards, and I need the low cards to keep the deck balanced at all times. Always keep your deck as low as possible if you want to win. if you want to win, excuse me. You can win in any game mode against any opponent as long as you balance your cards right. I just know, like, for like ring domination, if you want to go for the shattered card, you got to be at least shattered. But like somebody like me who's a shattered plus plus, I'm gonna drop myself down all the way to shattered because I want easy opponents. If I stay shattered plus plus, I'm gonna get stuck fighting shattered and shattered plus opponents. I don't want to fight shattered plus and shattered plus plus opponents. I mean, come on. You want to make your matches as easy as possible on yourself. So, oh, and if you haven't, as of like, I want to say, I think it was about maybe 3-4 weeks ago, they started offering every Thursday free QR codes that you can scan for different rewards. I would say all good because anything free is good. The only person I'd really give props and shouts out to, and the person I always check in with, is SuperZOMGBBQ. I know a lot of you know who he is. Definitely subscribe to his channel. Check him out. I've been following him for quite some time. I would probably say I started, in the beginning about the same time as Big E Dude. He's been around for obviously a long time. I haven't seen too much recent stuff. It's been a lot from OMG BBQ. There's other guys out there too you could search for. Basically, all I do is search WWE Supercard QR codes and just look for the most recent, like yesterday or a week ago. Obviously, 6 months ago probably isn't going to help you, the video on YouTube's, but obviously a week, 2-3 weeks ago, yeah, those will help you. Those are the most recent for season 5. Got a lot of good stuff out of it. Other than that, yeah, I'm just still working on stats. I don't have any like specific strategy. I'm probably just gonna get rid of this Zack Ryder real quick. I knew I was gonna lose no matter which tag team I played, so I figured, hey, I'll keep the stronger of the two because obviously I wanted to win my wild match. But like I said, and I got my open challenge done too. You can win in any game mode. You just gotta balance your cards right. Let's see if I have. Yeah, we're still waiting on Quest that, they're still saying check back later. But other than that, I always make sure, that I knock all my open challenges out. Those tickets, they add up. I've saved them up one time and just binged and went nuts. And I'm trying to get this card. This is in heroic mode, so it's Sasha Banks. The first one was Candice LeRae, and she was actually a pro for me. I was starting to work on her stats, but then of course you pull 2 shattereds that are about to be pros, and you got to put the Neon Pro on the back burner. You got to make that executive decision. And you can see I'm backing in and out. I got my Neon plus opponent. I'll take it. And just because you get it doesn't mean you always get the cards that you need to win. But I do, literally 99.9% of the time I do. So if you look at my cards now, you could just literally glance at my cards and see, okay, I got 3 ups. My lowest card is the Bam Bam Bigelow, and my other card would be my Bobby Roode's, right or left. So of course I'm going to go in the right corner. He's going to take it. They always do. And of course, of my 3 up arrows, I'm going to play the lowest one. I don't really know. Actually, I do know. My Eddie Guerrero's the strongest, and then the next strongest one is actually my Elias. And so obviously Drew McIntyre is the lowest of the 3. He probably won't take my Neon Pro back. He's probably just going to place his card off to the side somewhere. Yep. I'm going to use my Bobby Roode and but I'm going to take his Rey Mysterio because it was the stronger of the 2 Neon Pros. So just to protect myself, Take it back. So now I have 4 of the spots. And of course, I'm going to play against the Gothic Pro, just in case I get stuck having to play against him. I'm going to save this one. And that will give me 6 spots. So even if he took 1 spot, like right now, he'd still knock me down to 5. And doesn't matter which card I play, I only needed 5 spots. I win. Like, this is a guaranteed win. Because it's a guaranteed win, I have my 5 spots already. I'm going to play my Zack Ryder and get some more stats on him. Why not? So I just got a charisma stat on him. And I won 5-4. Of course, I could have won 6-3, but if you're not going for the perfect, you only need 5 spots. And I just keep reminding people that over and over. You only need 5 spots. Oh, which one? I like to stay in the same quadrant once I get a card. I like to just clear out that quadrant because I've got burnt way too many times where it was in the same quadrant and I'm looking all over the place for it. My only other thing is I just like to knock out the big shards. Try to hit the ones that are by themselves, and I like the little one. Let's see what else. And that's about it. I pretty much cleared it up. I don't need AJ at all, so I'm just going to pro him. He's good fusion food for the fusion chamber. I can actually show you what I mean. Alright, those are all combined. I got 37 spots left before I max my cards. Okay, doesn't matter what I click on. Let me add this. Okay, now. I usually just use my support cards because I got a lot of extras. I always have extras. And enhancements are good too for the fusion chamber.